Greetings. My name is Mike Levis, and I'm an instructor with the Mount Hood Ski Patrol Avalanche Program. As we mentioned in Module 1, one of the key objectives in Level 2 Avalanche is teaching leadership, both in travel planning and rescue situations. In this session, we will discuss travel planning leadership. Much of this builds on the human factors discussion in the last two videos. You will apply these techniques and demonstrate many of the learning objectives in our field sessions, one of which involves planning and leading a trip with several of your classmates. In the last two videos, we discussed the human factors that can result in poor decision-making and increased risk. The question for you as leaders of a backcountry trip is, how do you use advanced planning to reduce the impact of human factors and reduce risk? As we discussed in the last module, there are different categories of data: direct data, indirect data, and forecast data. You can also look at this data from a planning perspective as data to be used in trip planning before you leave home. This would be avalanche forecast data, weather trends, and terrain and route analysis on topo maps. Data to be used at the trailhead. This would be the current weather on the mountain and initial snowpack data. And data to be used for ongoing risk assessment. This would be signs of recent avalanches, shooting cracks, or wumping. All of this data should be used to drive ongoing data-driven decisions. Focusing on data will mitigate many human factors mistakes. Advanced planning is critical to safety and success. Planning removes the pressure to act impulsively and should force you to evaluate hazards before you leave town. Checking weather forecasts and weather trends, avalanche center reports, and recent trip reports from others who have traveled in the terrain of interest all can identify potential hazards and allow you to make informed decisions. Advanced route planning is key to managing avalanche risk. Take the time to study topo maps and choose a route that matches the skills and risk tolerance of the group, as well as the current AVI hazard forecast. Identify risk areas, for example, terrain traps, and identify alternates that could be used if avalanche hazards are unacceptable for the group. You should have alternatives identified for the desired route to manage risk based on conditions encountered in the field. Identify areas and situations where the group will stop and reevaluate risk, for example, if the weather seems to be changing. Again, it is important to discuss how decisions will be made in these cases. Take the time to study the weather trends and forecast. Check multiple sources. What do you expect the snowpack structure and stability testing to show when you get on the mountain? What will your plan be if the actual results are different from what you expected? All of the above applies to the avalanche forecast as well. Check recent observations for the NWAC forecasters and the public. Talk to the local guiding services and ask what they're experiencing in the areas you expect to travel. Check with paid staff at local ski resorts and see how they feel about the conditions. It's really not possible to gather too much data before you leave, and all of this data gathering will allow you to make data-driven decisions that will mitigate human factors. Once you've gathered all your data, it's time to meet with the group and discuss the goal of the trip. Is everyone aligned? The proposed route and alternatives. Is everyone comfortable with skill levels and risk exposure? Decision making. How will decisions get made on the trip? Emergencies. What could go wrong, and what is the plan if any of these scenarios occur? Remember, if everyone can't get on the same page with all of this, it may be appropriate to delay the trip. It's easier to manage differences of opinion in the kitchen than it is on the mountain. In the breakout session, we will have you go through some desktop exercises to plan a trip. This one, for example, is Elliott Glacier. We'll have another one on Newton Canyon, and we'll have a third one on a Mount Helens summit trip. So you'll go through these in the breakout session and actually plan these, do a desktop planning exercise on these. This brings us to the end of the module. I hope the material in this module stimulates some thinking about how you will lead the trip during your field sessions.